Now we have with us Pakistan's ambassador to Russia, Faisal Niaz Tirmizi, to share his views on the SCO Council of Heads of Government meeting in Moscow. Thank you for taking your time out, Mr. Tirmizi. And this time, Moscow. SCO region converges and one of the biggest seats and events in the SCO is happening. Pakistan is going to be presenting their stance. Now, when we take this into account, where do you see Pakistan's posture in the Committee of Nations when we speak about international forums?
Well, as you are aware, that SCO is perhaps the second biggest international organization in terms of geographical footprint as well as population after the UN. And Pakistan has been a member of this organization for some years now. And of course, we've already hosted one heads of government meeting in Pakistan, which was next year in 2026, Pakistan would be hosting the summit of SCO. It's a very important organization, and Pakistan considers it as a part of its geographical neighborhood, because all countries of the SCO not only share the geography, they also share the history, and they have a common perspective on various international political and economic issues. So it's a great forum, and Pakistan's participation at the level of the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, shows the importance that Pakistan gives to this organization.
Right. Now, Mr. Ambassador, you've played an important role in pushing forward trade and cultural ties with you during your last assignment. What progress can we expect in Russia? And how can both countries benefit from this cooperation? And how can they overcome the challenges?
That's what I say. That was my thrust during my last posting in the Gulf, and this is what I'll be focusing on trade, people to people, business to businesses, and cultural to cultural, university to university contacts between the two countries. Russia has so much to offer to Pakistan, and similarly, Pakistan has so much to offer to Russia. And that's what we have to focus on. Our bilateral political relations are at a very high trajectory, but now we have to give it more economic, cultural, social, and academic contents. In fact, I've just arrived here in the last 3 weeks, and I've had the honor of representing Pakistan in two important regional conferences in Samara and Kazan, which is the heart of the Russian heartland. And I got that opportunity to visit the universities and think tanks in that part of the world. And that's what I stress, that we need to have more interaction at all levels. Tomorrow, the Institute of Strategic Studies Islamabad is doing a book launch on a book on Pakistani-Russian relationship, which has been sponsored by the ISSI. And it has contribution from Pakistani-Russian diplomats, scholars, defense experts, and security experts. So that's what my focus would be during my stay here, to take this relationship to the next level by having multiple modal nodes of contacts, because Russia is already interested in exploring Pakistan as an outlet to Asia, and Pakistan can conversely explore entry into the Eurasian landmass, because we are already have a very strong and close trade relations with Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, and through them we have to give. And there is a lot of demand in Russia for the Pakistani goods. For instance, Pakistani textiles have always had a presence in this country for a very long time, and they want the Pakistani textiles, Pakistani pharmaceuticals, as well as Pakistani culture and art to make its presence felt, not only in the heart of the Russian heartland in Moscow, but all across this great country.
Right, and when we talk about these exchanges of culture, art, business, and all that follows, there is the question of peace in the region at hand that is very important to these exchanges. Now, how can SCO play a role when we talk about the Afghan Taliban? And this point is going to be raised by Deputy Prime Minister also at the forum. What part can SCO play in this and implementation of peace and making sure the Afghan Taliban listen to what is being asked of them?
Russia is perhaps the only country in the world where not only they have the presence of an Afghan embassy, but they also fly the Taliban flag. And frankly, Russia has offered to mediate between Pakistan and the Taliban and the Afghan regime in Kabul right now. And they understand that without the peace in Russia, there cannot be any meaningful exchanges amongst all member states of SCO, because Afghanistan is the linchpin which connects South Asia to Central Asia and the Eurasian landmass. Russia has been kind enough to offer its assistance, and we are already in regular contact with the Russian government as well. Last month, we've had a talk of Afghanistan in Moscow, which was sponsored by Russia, in which our SAPM on Afghanistan was present here. And that's what Russians have been trying to tell Afghans, that there should be a factor of stability and connectivity in the region rather than a factor of instability. That's the whole endeavor on part of Pakistan as well as on part of Russia, to convince the Taliban regime that if they want to be part of this Eurasian dream that is being envisaged under the SCO, they have to ensure that Afghan soil is not used against any territory, against any country, or against any religion, be it Pakistan, Central Asia, or in Russia. So that is something fundamental. And that's what all SCO countries are trying to convince the Taliban regime, that if they have to be accepted as a credible interlocutor partner in the international arena, they have to review their policy where the soil should not be used to destabilize other member countries or any other country of the world.
Right, and when we talk about these peace efforts and the implementation of them, now you've beautifully summed up how Russia is pushing forward to play their role in pushing back terrorism that is flowing in towards Pakistan from the Afghan side, realizing that Pakistan has time and time again asked for peace from the Taliban side. And when we see the SCO member states converge on the table regarding the heads of state meeting. Now, this is a big chance to allocate funds and come up with a future strategic plan. What all is on the table when we talk about the main highlights of the agenda when talking about this certain meeting, the specific meeting here in 2025?
Well, this meeting basically focuses on economic and social issues. So the main focus on this meeting will not be on peace and security. There are other mechanisms within the SCO which discuss peace and security and defense. But this meeting would be primarily focusing on economic and social issues to increase the connectivity and trade among all member countries. So that's the main thrust of this meeting will be. But of course, it would provide an excellent opportunity to the Deputy Prime Minister, Prime Minister Ishaq Dar, to meet his counterparts, not only from Russia, which he'll be meeting, of course, Prime Minister Lavrov and Deputy Prime Minister Overstok. He will also get an opportunity to meet the Russian Prime Minister, who is the host of this meeting, as well as President Putin, who will be receiving all heads of delegation in Kremlin tomorrow morning. So it's a great opportunity for all member states to get together, exchange views, and to find a common ground to increase the economic, social, and political interaction amongst all member states.
Right. Thank you, Ambassador Faisal Tirmizi, for taking your time out of Pakistan TV and letting us know what can we expect next. Now, moving on.